Now, he's going to start talking here, go from talking about writing to talk about speaking.
Mm-hmm.
A majority of the world's most gifted writers would in all probability be dumbstruck if put before an audience. Though dealing confidently with ideas, they lack the confidence when dealing with people. The military officer has need of both talents. And as to where the accent should be placed, it is probably more important that he should speak well than his writing. Prose should be polished. A unit commander may permit a clerk or a subordinate to do the greater part of his paperwork, either because his own time is taken with other duties or because he is awkward at it. But if he permits any other voice to dominate the councils of the organization, he soon ceases to exercise moral authority over it. So you gotta be confident in your speaking. It's a little bit more important than the writing, because you can have your guys do some writing. Yeah, I'll sign it. Looks good to me.
Right, this guy, one of the bosses I had, we'll say that. So he'd always misuse words, like almost to the point where, you know how some comedians will do that? They'll misuse, like Hinach does that a lot of times.
Yeah,
but this guy would for real do it. So, because he didn't, but you know what it was, is you know how the kind of guy they want to try to sound smart, basically? And
not a good idea.
So he would use the word like irregardless. He would say irregardless as opposed to regardless. And then there's another one that it's so funny because it was so counterproductive, because when he would talk and we'd all be holding in our laughter, and I'd work with this other guy where he was the kind of guy, relentless jokes, when you're gone. So if you did something, and in this case you'd misuse words, or when he leaves, brother, jokes would come and it'd be just so funny. But nonetheless, he would use behoof, behoof, like it would behoof.
Yeah, he would say behoof.
I think it is behoof.
It's behoove.
You're right, behoove.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, behoove then.
Uh-huh.
So he would misuse that word. He thought it meant baffling. Like, you know what really behooves me is that they do it this way, and then, but he'd keep doing it, And so anyway, the point there is where you got to know how to talk, right? So. And in this case, this wasn't like some high level like speeches he was making or address it was just like normal stuff. So, bro, I thought that was kind of critical in the way like we regarded him as a boss. That was one of the major things where it's like, bro, we can't even take this guy seriously.
Yeah, because he behoofs me with everything he says.
It was really behooving that he did.
Oh Lord, wrong usage. It's okay, people.
Yeah,
well, it's not okay.
I guess the point there. Or a separate point is learn the words before you start trying to throw them out, I guess. And that goes back to what you were saying. That would be that'd be what you're saying about it's better to seek the knowledge and be embarrassed because you got to seek rather than get it called out when you don't know it or whatever. Anyway, that's what he was doing.
Back to the book. The matter of nerve is a main element in speaking. When an officer is ill at ease, fidgety, and not to the point, the vote of his command for the time being is no confidence. And so long as he remains that way, they will not change, no matter though his goodwill shines forth through in other acts. So it's what you just said. If someone's jacked up when they're trying to talk to you and talk to the group, your vote is no confidence.
Yeah,
that's a strong vote. This is a good. Back to the book. As for how an officer should talk to his men, his manner and tone should be no different than if he were addressing his fellow officers, or for that matter, a group of his intellectual and political peers from any walk of life. If he is stuffy, he will not succeed. If he affects a superior manner, that is a mark of his inferiority. If he is patronizing and talks to grown men as a teacher might talk to a class of adolescents, the rug, figuratively, will be pulled out from under him. His audience will put him down as a chump. It is curiously the case that the junior officer who can't get the right pitch when he talks to the ranks will also be out of tune when he talks to his superiors. This failing is a sign mainly that he needs practice in the school of human nature. By listening a little more carefully to other men, he may himself, in time, attain maturity. Another good way to get better at speaking is by listening. No doubt.